Hi guys, I'm going to start a new series for a project that I'm working on, and even though I'm not done with the project, I'm going to go ahead and start the vlog for it. And it's going to start out every Monday with a motivational Monday vlog. And I'm hoping that these will motivate you through the week, as well as myself. Everybody needs motivation. I got this idea from Lizzie Velasquez. I highly encourage you to look her up on YouTube. She's a motivational speaker that has been through a lot of stuff. And I think I've learned that the people that have had the hardest lives are sometimes the ones that are the best to inspire, because you either completely fall apart or you get a lot stronger and resilient. And I've been through a lot in the last couple years, and I focused on building resilience and pursuing happiness. And that's what my message is all about on my website, livingthesimplelifenow.com. So we will start out this first Motivational Monday message. And I want to focus on hope. Um, I At the beginning of last year, I read a book. Actually, I read a couple books that were by and about Corrie ten Boom. And if you've never heard of Corrie ten Boom, I will put a link in this video so that you can check her out on Amazon. She's truly an incredible lady. And I often think of her when I'm going through really hard times. She lived in Holland during World War II. It was eventually taken over by Germany. So, what was Holland became Germany, which meant that the Jews were going to concentration camps. Now, Corrie and her family were a Christian family, but they saw what was happening and they didn't believe it was right. And so they literally risked their lives. Some Jews they hid in their home. One of her most famous book is called The Hiding Place, and it comes from that hiding place in her home where she hid some Jews. But she also fed about 100 Jews. She would place Jews in various locations to protect them from the government. And she did this with her father and her sister named Betsy. Betsy and Corrie never married, so they lived at home with their dad, and her mom had died several years back. So it was just the three of them, and it wasn't uncommon for them to have foster kids, so accepting these Jews in their home was not that big of a deal. But they just didn't believe what was happening was right, and they kept their eyes open. Sometimes we can keep our eyes shut when we see injustice, but they kept their eyes open and they wanted to be a part of the solution. And they were for many years. Her brother also was involved in this. And they were eventually caught. And even though they were Christian, they were treated as Jews and sent to concentration camp. Within a few days of being at the concentration camp, I forget which one it was. I think it was Auschwitz, but you can look that up to make sure. Her dad died. He wasn't healthy, and they were there for several months. They were given about a year sentence, and a few months before they got out, her sister Betsy died. So Corrie was the only one left, but Corrie never lost hope. Corrie was in a concentration camp, was watching people every day perish around her, was seeing people be tortured, sent to gas chambers. Just horrendous things that you just can't imagine. And she had the philosophy that things could always get worse. And so she always had hope. And something that she did that was so inspiring was she wanted to spread that hope to others around her. And so not only did she have hope while she was in that concentration camp, she also made it her mission to give others hope. And I often think of her when I've gone through hard times and her idea that it can always be worse. Sometimes we feel like we're stuck in something and it couldn't get worse. But it really could. Just think of Corrie being in a concentration camp. And not only did she have that philosophy, she was determined to spread that hope to those around her. And I think that's why she lived. And she ended up getting out of that concentration camp. Um, all of her family was dead. Her brother died. I believe her nephew died. Um, and she was the only one left. And she ended up starting kind of a motivational speaking. She was a Christian, so she focused a lot of her message on Christian principles. And she traveled all over the world, and she lived until the early 1980s spreading this message. And she ended up dying in California. And she's just such an inspiration to me. She's probably one of my favorite people to read about and to think about when I go through hard times. How would I respond if I were in a concentration camp and, you know, punished for something that I was doing that was right? I think it's a great lesson. You know, keep your eyes open for injustice, do the right thing, and always have hope. And not only just have hope, but spread that hope around, because hope is contagious. Just like being a negative, pessimistic person is contagious, so is hope. And I sincerely wish that this week that you go through it with a good ounce of hope, and that you're determined to spread that hope to other people around you. I know that's going to be my mission this week, and I hope this motivates you. And this is the first of, I hope, many Motivational Monday messages. You can find me over on Robin Adams over on livingthesimpleLifeNow.com. And I try to spread the message of pursuing happiness and developing resilience. And I hope I've given you some hope today. And hope can lead to happiness. Thanks. I'll see you next week.